I think I downloaded the wrong Scooby Doo. Again. Halloween's coming, so you know what time it is. Time to sim for Velma again. We see Mystery Incorporated swagging to the red carpet in their custom designed limo. Here's the least exciting person, Fred and his wife Daphne, Shagster and his wife Scooby, and Velma, my wife. I wish. The team arrives at the museum's opening dedicated to all the monsters Mystery Incorporated has caught. The crowd is ecstatic, except for one spooky old creepster. Bet he's one of the costumes in the museum. Talking about creepsters, who's that geek approaching my wife? Turns out the nerd is Patrick Wisely, the curator of this museum. Both are obsessed with each other, but for some reason Velma refuses to go on a date with Patrick, saying mystery is her 24/7 passion. Plus she has to divorce me first. Don't worry Pat, this won't take long. Suddenly the night turns spooky indeed. The pterodactyl ghost turns alive, but in a minute it gets caught. Mystery team strikes again, and they lost it. Now it's time to save Shaggy and Scooby, who stuck to the birdie. Classic. The main villain enters the scene, promising it's Mystery Incorporated who will be unmasked this time. Scoopster gets released, and the villain flies off with the birdie. Epic getaway. Definitely one of the top 2 getaways of all time, with me dropping out from school being in first place. Police arrive at the scene investigating what just happened. Velma discovers a secret hatch that the birdie ghost probably used to sneak out. You go girl, take those cops' jobs. Tax money is wasted again. What's more, Velma discovers a reptilian scale, and Fred reveals that the villain stole 2 costumes. Interesting. Anyways, the glorious triumph for Mystery Inc. turns into a disaster, and it's time to solve the new mystery and get the reputation that sunk thanks to annoying reporters back. The first suspect is Dr. Jonathan Jacobo, the inventor of the original pterodactyl ghost. He used the costume to steal millions and financed crazy experiments to create new monsters. And he also founded Luna Corporation. Soon enough, he went to prison, which still didn't save my money though. He tried to escape prison, but died as a casualty. However, his cell buddy was released 2 months ago, Jeremiah Wickles. And what a coincidence, he is the Black Knight ghost, and his costume was stolen during the museum heist. What brainiac put them in one cell? Anyways, the team decides to pay a visit to an old man Winkles. He lives in a creepy old castle because that's what you get if you ignore your 401k. Could have lived in Belize. Whatever. A door ring opens a hole underneath the team, and they dramatically fall into a trap. Whoa, I wish I had this to dodge paying tips for a Pizza Hut guy, although he's literally the only person who has visited me daily for 2 years. These services are getting costly. Anyways, the voice message says Old Whack is not home, so Daphne effectively breaks out of the trap and the team splits up to search for the clues. They find a magic book that Jacobo allegedly gave to Wickles. It includes instructions on how to create monsters, like real ones. Scoobster finds a clue too, a sticky note saying, "The faux ghost tonight." Wonder what it means. Scoopster goes dancing because he finally did something useful, but the Black Knight ghost breaks their celebration. He goes for Shagster, then Daphne taunts him while Velma tries to find out how to stop a ghost in a book, and she ends up kicking him in the balls. Nice smarty pants, like you needed a book for that. The team successfully retreats to their hideout, where they begin studying the clues they found. Shaggy and Scooby decide to go out and try to solve the mystery by themselves to prove there was something in the team. Always a bad idea. Meanwhile, the smart part of the team found a way to prove old Wickles is behind the monster's revival. Suddenly, Velma gets spooked by annoying Patrick. Not this dude again. Daphne tries to explain to Velma that there's no need to be scared of relationships, and no need to be ashamed of your looks. We both aren't hot, but that doesn't matter, says Daphne. Yeah, if you aren't hot, I guess I'm the last in the queue for a piece of love. But that's fine. I have my dearest audience, who can't even help me reach 1 million subscribers. Guys, come on, we're running out of time here. I'm just kidding. Anyway, alright, the girls decide to go all in, and Daphne turns Velma into a star of the 80s. Classic woman after divorce moment. Meanwhile, Scoopster arrives at the faux ghost. All the famous unmasked criminals are there. The witch ghost, the red beard ghost, a dude who pees in my elevator, top criminal of the city. Shagster sneaks into the criminal party. They find old Whack Nichols right there, miserably drinking booze and loneliness. Relatable. Mr. Wick promises to whack Mystery Inc. when he sees them, so Shaggy retreats to the toilet until his undercover is uncovered. I have no idea what that means, I did not write that line. And Scooby steals the party dancing with Witch. Finally, the criminals realize the couple smells funny and throws them out of the party. Meanwhile, the rest of the team gets uncomfortable in the mystery shuttle. They arrive at the museum and find out that the rest of the spooky costumes were stolen too. Patrick gets extremely upset and is now the one to ignore Velma. Told you guys, no healthy relationship can be constructed on the sorrow of broken hearts. I know from personal experience. Meanwhile, the reporting lady who made Mystery Inc.'s reputation hit rock bottom builds another destroying report. Daphne confronts her. Why do you do this, evil lady? Are you the masked villain? Nah, the masked villain is right up there. Meanwhile, Patrick confronts the random hobo near the faux ghost when Scoopster finds him. Suddenly they spot the old wacky Wickles and follow him. Wickles goes to an abandoned silver mine, stumbling into a skeleton ghost. Interesting, how can a skeleton be a ghost? The smartsters are here too, finding Wickles planning a coup with criminal skunks. Oh wait, it's not criminals, these are investors, and Wickles tries to sell them an idea of an amusement park in a place of old mines. Wow, guess our team was fooled and followed the wrong villain. Turns out Wickles has nothing to do with reviving monsters, and he also hates Jacobo. Well, that was awkward. Sorry for interrupting your pitch. Meanwhile, Shaggy and Scooby find a secret laboratory beneath the silver mine. Scooby goes to a local fridge and drinks the beverages there, and immediately becomes a monster. Relatable. Happens to me when I drink angry juice, but only when I mix it with normal pills. Shaggy then gives blue stuff for Scoob to use as an antidote, and then he tries the drink himself. Boom! Now Shaggy is hot, and Scooby is the Tasmanian devil. That's quite the power couple. After another dose of highly toxic stuff, Shaggy becomes John Cena and Scooby, Albert Einstein. Albert, the butt sniffer, creates an antidote, but buffed Shaggy doesn't want his skinny body back, so he throws it away, summoning the rest of the crew. Finally, the team is together in the regular shape of losers. The mystery gang finds the masked villain's hideout with all the stolen costumes. Using logic, Velma realizes that the masked villain already has a pterodactyl costume to steal the others, which implies that Patrick was also the bad guy. He was the one who gave the costume to the masked villain. Oh, is that a broken heart I sense, Velma? Too bad. The smart gang investigates while Shaggy finds some buttons to press. Classic trouble created out of thin air. Monster costumes roll into some green goo and revive. Finally, some job for the team. Fred disconnects the machine's control panel and runs away with it, successfully dodging all the monsters. The masked villain rolls over too, ordering the monsters to take back the control panel since it's the major part of his plan. The smart gang drives out in their mystery shuttle, while Shaggy and Scooby use dumpster tops to roll down the mountain and slide right into the motherboard. Perfect landing. Meanwhile, the city gets hunted by the monsters searching for Mystery Inc. The team does what they do best, retreat to a safe place, deep down in the woods, where no one can find them. Nice spot, but I suggest Belize. The safe place is the team's old clubhouse, so nostalgia kicks in. Velma discovers her old nerdy invention and suddenly realizes she can use it to reverse the monster creating process. They need to rewire the stolen control panel and then plug it back in. The work begins while Shaggy and Scooby feel sorry for being losers. Their self-pity gets interrupted by a ghost. Monsters found their hideout. The team takes the control panel and dives back into the motherboard, trying to drive away, but the monster catches them with a harpoon, so Fred goes reverse and makes a classy car accident. The team tries to drive back to the old mines, while the big birdie returns and tries to eat them alive. Okay, maybe not eat them all. It is a family-friendly movie after all. Only Velma. She is the most delicious one there. The pursuit continues, and a goofy monster in a truck decides to play a chicken game with Mystery Shuttle. Too bad the shuttle doesn't have a proper driver, only Scooby, who luckily saves the day. Or night. Finally, the gang arrives at the Silver Mines, where Dark Knight is already waiting for them. Fred decides to play hero and taunt the knight. He boards a classic two-wheeler, grabs a pipe, and a medieval duel begins. The rest of the team goes to the basement, but Sparky Monster stops them. Daphne decides to take it on herself. She struck 2 fingers in a socket when she was 5, so this is personal for her. The entrance is covered by skeleton monsters, so Velma decides to give the control panel to Shaggy and distract the skeletons by herself. Bad idea. Shaggy is a screw-up, but Velma throws a motivational Andrew Tate speech on the boy, so he can get his dose of courage for the rest of this self-delete mission. Daphne and Fred get cornered, but a brilliant idea strikes them. Connect Sprinkle to Dark Knight using a USB cable. It's not Type-C, so it works like a charm, destroying the ghosty fellas. Velma dives into a pipe that crashes on the skeletons. Oh boy, I wish I could give her my pipe. Shaggy and Scooby get chased by a beardy flame eater, who vomits a dose of flames on them, but Scooby counters it with a dose of methane from his butt. Deadly combination. Another one down. Down in the mines, Velma finds a shrine to Jonathan Jacobo. Whoa, what kind of crazy weirdo could build this? Of course, it's Patrick. He tries to calm the lady down, but Velma runs away and almost falls to death. Patrick saves her. Then Patrick gets taken away by the big birdie. Finally, Shaggy and Scooby escape the monster, just to get into the hands of another one. It's a cotton candy monster. Wait, cotton candy? They love cotton candy, so they destroy it in seconds. The team gathers up at the operating room, where all the monsters and masked villains already wait for them. They play frisbee with the control panel until the glue monster catches them all except Scooby. But good doggy goes hero mode, and fire extinguishes the glue guy and puts the control panel back in, destroying all the monsters. Yay! The city goes insane, celebrating the success of Mystery Inc. Masked villain gets arrested. They reveal its face. Oh wow, it's the reporter girl. But who was the villain on the roof? Oh, she had an assistant, Ned, the camera guy. But that's not it. Turns out the reporter guy is actually Jonathan Jacobo, and he tried to set up Mr. Wacky. Whoa, too hard for me to cope with that level of mystery solving. Oh, so Patrick was a good guy after all. Guess it's a date then. Whatever, I'm done with Velma. At least I still have my right hand. Moral of the story, Velma could get it.